Hey everybody, how are you? Good morning. Happy Monday. Hope that you're doing well. Hope that your week is off to a good start. And who knows, maybe you have a shortened week this week because of the holiday. We got the New Year's holiday coming up, so who knows? Maybe you're off for the week. Maybe you're going to take a couple days off. Hopefully that's the case for you. So let me know what's going on in your part of the world as far as how you handle New Year's, because I know that there's also different ways that people celebrate New Year's, throughout the world. So let me know what you're doing, but hopefully you are getting some days off. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. That's completely it's still very common where people are joining my platforms, joining the stream for the first time. So we always start off with what I refer to as our global roll call, where we invite you to let us know your city, state, province, country. Just let us know a little bit about yourself. Let us know how you're doing. And it's a good way to introduce yourself, be a part of the community. Just a way to keep things, we keep things professional around here, right? So hopefully you'll be willing to do that. After that, I give an opening note. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And then I take your questions. Today is a perfect day for questions. If you have questions on anything relating to, well, anything, right? We usually talk about data science, but we've talked about philosophy. We've talked about the world. We've talked about companies and things like that. So we like to keep our conversation open. I leave the agenda up to the chat for you guys to ask questions, or just never know where the conversation is going to take us. And I kind of like it that way. So that's the plan for today. Oh, also, if you attended yesterday, the goal setting session, and you wanted to ask questions about goal setting, or you want to talk about your goals, I'm also open to that today. As many of you know, on Sundays, I have the longer tutorial. So I intentionally stream today, Mondays, in case people have follow-up questions or other things they want to ask from that session, or whatever the case may be. If there's like some lingering stuff from Sunday, today is also a good day to talk about it. So feel free to let me know if you want to talk about anything related to yesterday's session, or just goals in general, right? I think it's really important to have some goals for yourself. And also, as I think some of you saw yesterday, in most professional environments, you're going to have some sort of formal goal setting process. They view it as important also, right? You can't know where you're going unless you have a direction, right? You got to pick a path of what it is that you want to do, right? For the year, for the quarter, for yourself, for the company, whatever the case may be, right? So if you guys want to talk about goal setting, I'm open to that too. So let me know. Like I said, I kind of keep the agenda open for you guys. So just let me know what you want to talk about. I'm seeing some people over on Instagram. Welcome. For some reason, the Instagram chats are still not showing up on my YouTube. Oh, guys, that's so annoying. I have no idea what is going on with Instagram, but they just keep on acting up so funny about how they're handling their live streams and all that. Have really let me down in the past couple of weeks here. But if you're over on Instagram, I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on that chat. So Mustasin? I think it's Mustasin. Mustasin, welcome. I think it's your first time. We ask people to introduce themselves, so let us know your city, state, and province. Log out. Same for you, please. We always ask people to let us know. I think it's also your first time. So let us know where you're joining us from. Again, it's a nice way to keep the chat professional, right? Over on Twitch, welcome Twitch. I see Paflon, or is it Paflo? I think it's Paflo. Paflo, I know it's not your first time, but remind us where you're from. Remind me where you joining us from, because I know it's not your first time, but I can't remember, so let me know. Leo is practicing his Python skills here. Hello world, good morning everyone. Good morning to you too, Leo. Hope you're doing well. Leo says weather in New York City was great yesterday. Today the same, was raining. We're in the 60s. Wow. You're in the 60s for New Year's. Wow, that is crazy. Usually uh, New York City would be freezing this time, right? You should be expecting, you should be having blizzard conditions, January, February, all that time, right? So, wow, enjoy it while it lasts, Leo, and it might last the whole time. um, you know, now that we're actually living it, it's kind of hard to be a climate change denier, right? I mean, 60s in January on the West Coast, in the upper West Coast, on the East Coast, on the upper East Coast. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I hope you're doing well out there, Leo. Okay, so Paflo says, I graduate from university at the end of 2025, but I don't know what to specialize in. I think about long-term profitability because I know that many jobs are disappearing or things like that. I'm from Panama. Okay, Paflo, welcome. So Paflo, you don't tell us what you're studying though. What are you studying now? Let me know what your current course of study is, right? Because that might help us guide you more. And who knows, maybe the community will have some suggestions for you too, right? But let us know what you're studying. Yeah, and then I'll reserve comment until then, right? Pablo says a bachelor's degree in systems and programming. Okay. So Pablo, you're bringing up an interesting question, and as much as I hate to say it, and I know that a lot of people hate hearing this, but I think you're right. I think you're right to be worried. I think you're right to be worried about the long-term viability. As you say, jobs are disappearing. I'm assuming you don't specifically cite it, but I'm assuming you're referring to the changes in AI, right? So yeah, I mean, systems and programming in general, I would say that they are definitely under threat by AI, right? Very much so. I know. People hate hearing that. The neckbeards over on Twitter just hammered me over the Christmas holiday. They had nothing better to do than to hammer me about that. But I think you're right. I think you are right to be worried. Right now, to me, if I was a freshman or like a first year student, and I had just started a similar program or a computer science program, I would be awfully worried. I would be worried to the point where I would consider a different major. You're literally studying for a job that's not going to exist. It's just not going to exist. If I was early in my studies, I would be terrified. I'd be disappointed in myself for having chosen that major, right? So Paflo, I think there's a couple things you can do, right? Systems and computer science might be a good foundation for other studies you want to do. Like I'm talking about like a master's degree or even a second bachelor's, right? When I say a good foundation, I don't always mean a technical one. What about if you were to get an MBA instead, right? Or get a law degree or something else that's going to be tangential to technology, but still very much benefit from AI, right? The biggest winners in AI in the corporate space are going to be the bosses that no longer have to pay you a lot of money, right? Because AI is going to do a lot of the coding side. So become one of those bosses or become useful to one of those bosses, right? Those people benefit more from strategists and MBAs and people who know finance, people who know accounting, right? So that's one strategy you could do, right? Concede that coding will be done by other tools, not you, not human, and find your spot for something that's still going to benefit from that or going to be, like I said, tangential to that, right? I think there's still opportunities there to do that. So let me know what you think about that, Paflo, right? Maybe, you're going to have to do some sort of like additional study that you would not have associated with yourself in the past, right? You might say, hey, I never really thought of myself as a lawyer or something else, right? But lawyers are going to benefit from AI, right? Being a lawyer with a technical foundation can also be a pretty strong combination, right? So what does that look like for you? That could be interesting, right? So think about that, Paflo. Let me know what you think. Denelson says, "Good morning, Dennis. Hope everyone is doing very well today." Yeah, I think we're doing very well, Denelson. Hope you are too. Let me know how things are going out there in LA. I was in LA last week with my parents. Had a really nice time out there. But hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for joining us early. I know it's early for you on the West Coast, so I appreciate you, Denelson. So again, if you're joining us late, please let us know your city, state, province, country. We welcome we welcome people, everyone, and we ask people to introduce themselves. I'm really proud of the chat, right? Because we've had a ton of live sessions. I've done, I don't know, a couple hundred live sessions by now. And we get relatively little spam or nonsense in the chat, right? And I think that's part of it, where we keep things professional, we respect each other as professionals, and I think that helps cut down on the nonsense, right? So I hope you guys find that beneficial, and that's why we ask people to introduce themselves. Osama, our good friend Osama from Setat says, "Hello, sir. I hope everything is going well." I think everything is going really well, Osama. I hope the same for you. I know you were there for the whole session yesterday, so I appreciate you coming back. I have no idea how you guys do that. Don't you guys have families or other things to do besides watching, me? I mean, I get tired of these, like after these streams. Like I am done after the Sunday streams. Like my mind is just tired. So I don't know how you guys do it and then come back the next day for more. You guys are crazy. So thanks for being here, Osama. Really appreciate your support. Hope everything is well out there in Morocco for you. So Paflo, continuing our previous discussion, I don't know if I understood, but like studying things for automation like AI, or also specializing in something else to combine both, for example, industrial engineering with what I study. Sorry if I don't get it fine. I have a bit of trouble with English. Okay, no problem, Paflo. I appreciate that. I have people from all over the world. I understand that maybe sometimes I use language that's difficult to understand. So, Paflo, what I'm trying to encourage you to think about, and really anybody to think about, right, is if you understand that AI tools are powerful, right, then great. Don't fight them, work with them. Right? What does the future hold for you, for your role, in a way that you can benefit from AI tools? That's really what I'm trying to get at, right? I'm trying to encourage people to have that mind shift to say, okay, AI is here. There's nothing I can do about it. So how can I change my work style? Right? So I'm suggesting to you that maybe a lot of the technical roles that you thought you were preparing for are no longer going to exist, at least not by humans. So what are some of the roles that will exist? Well, we're always going to need some sort of legal help. We're always going to need some sort of finance help. More specifically, the people that are replacing you with AI, right? The same companies that are no longer hiring people with systems degrees, what do they need? They still need people. They just don't need you as the systems encoder guy, right? So how do you not become the systems encoder guy, but still use AI? right? You can work in strategy, you can work on the business side, on the finance side, even marketing. But I think marketing is also under threat by AI, right? So that's what I'm encouraging you to thinking about Paflo, right? How to use AI tools to improve in positions regardless of what they are. No. I'm saying that you should say, okay, the position of being a coder is completely overtaken by AI. I can't add anything to that. That's what I'm saying. But you can add to the companies that are still going to use those AI tools, right? Software, programs, apps, they're not going to go away. They're just going to be written completely differently. They're going to be written with a lot less humans. But the companies are still going to be around, right? That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, okay, there's no more coding jobs, but there's still jobs. How can I adjust? That's what I'm encouraging you to think about. So it's not, yeah, it's not trying to improve a position that is just not going to exist, right? So think about that, Paflo, and let me know. Osama says, it's a pleasure. So, well, thank you. I appreciate that, Osama. I hope that means that people are getting things out of these streams, because I'm telling you, it's not always easy coming up with this content, guys. Leo says, yes, especially when you're referring to my language issues. Yes, especially when you refuse to say soccer instead of football. That's a language issue. Yes, you heard me say soccer. I appreciate that. It's a new year, guys. You're looking at a new Dennis. New Dennis says soccer from now on. So for those of you guys that don't know, Leo's referring to my refusal to understand that there's other sports besides football. But, it's a new year, guys. So I'm changing my ways. Thanks, Leo. Rex says, good morning, everyone. Hey, Rex, good to see you. Hope you're doing well out there in New York City. Leo already told us that you're having great weather out there, so you can't complain to us about the weather. It sounds like you guys are doing really good out there. Pavlo says, okay, if you can't fight it, join it. Yeah. Because you're not going to talk a company out of not using AI for coding, right? Just concede that we've all lost that battle. So what do those companies need? There's still things they need, right? It's just not you. They just don't need you coding at a keyboard. That's all, right? So that's what I'm encouraging you for. Okay. Good question, though. It's a good question, and I know a lot of people are worried about that. But here's the thing, Pavlo. I commend you for thinking ahead about this, right? You're thinking ahead about this, and you're thinking about what you can do with it. Or how you can adjust, which is good, right? You may not know how to adjust, but you're at least thinking about it. I am very concerned about the number of people out there that are basically just putting their heads in the sand. And they're saying, no, AI can't replace me, no way. That's dumb. That's stupid. They don't understand the power of the tools, they don't understand business, and they don't understand how quickly those tools are going to advance and progress, right? But you have a ton of people out there who are just refusing to understand that, AI is going to replace them, right? And maybe that's part of the grieving process, right? The denial part of the grieving process. But, credit to you for at least thinking ahead about it. Credit to you for thinking and saying, hey, wait a minute, I got to prepare. I got to make some changes. I got to make some moves, right? Good for you for that. A lot of people aren't there yet. And I'm really concerned about that. Yassine. Hello, Yassine. Hello, sir, Yassine from Tangier, Morocco. How are you, Yassine? Hope you're doing well. Yassine, what are you doing for New Year's? I assume that your school would be on some sort of break or something, and maybe you'd go back home or whatever. But hope you're doing well out there. Let us know if you're still staying in Tangier or how things are going. But I assume by now the semester has wrapped up, so hope you did well. Leo says, Yassine, we missed you yesterday. You know, Leo, it's funny you were mentioning that, because when I saw Yassine's message, I was thinking in the back of my mind, was Yassine there yesterday or not? And I couldn't remember. And I think you're right, Leo. I think he did miss yesterday. So Yassine, we demand a full explanation of why you weren't there yesterday. Just kidding. But yeah, if you guys want to let me know what your New Year's plans are, maybe you have a New Year's resolution you want to share, but we're going to have New Year's here in a little bit. So I know that's, most countries celebrate New Year's around this time. I know some countries a little bit different. But yeah, there's going to be lots of fireworks and lots of excitement around the world for the new year. So hopefully everybody's has some plans. I'm personally going to be busy with work. This time next week, I'm going to be at the CES show, the Consumer Electronics Show. I'm going to be walking the floors, talking to different people, talking to AI companies to try to bring you guys some really good content. So I'm really excited about what that's going to look like. So, kind of see how that goes. But yeah, so I hope that you guys have good plans for New Year's. Let me know what they are, because this will be my last stream for 2024. And then the next time we talk, it'll be 2025. So that's crazy, right? Paflo says mental explosion, but that's okay though, right? Because you're thinking about it, Paflo, right? You are choosing to not ignore it. You are choosing to be realistic, which again, a lot of people are not. So I commend you for that, right? So focus on the positives and focus on what can I do about this? What can I do right now to prepare? Right? So you're on the right track. Yassine says, I have an exam tomorrow. Ain't no rest for the... Are you kidding me? You have an exam on the 31st? Are you kidding me? Like, Yassine, are you joking around right now? Like, who schedules an exam on the last day of the year? Guys, what is going on with Morocco? You guys are crazy. There's no way there should be an exam tomorrow. Yassine, we need details. Let me know. Leo says, my friend is in Morocco. He said he saw you partying last night. That's hilarious. You should be partying. It's the end of the year, right? I mean, who the heck schedules an exam on the 31st? Yassine says, hello, Leo. It's been a long time. Happy New Year. Wish you all the best in the world. I love the community supporting each other, guys. So thanks for the good wishes there, Yassine. I wish the same for all of you. I put out, if you guys follow me on social media, which I assume most of you do, I did put out a New Year's message for all of you. I got to tell you guys, I worry about all of you. I worry about how international the community is, and I hear about these different things that are happening around the world. So I just hope for 2025 that everyone in my community will have advancement, will have peace, will have safety with their families. So I think it's going to be a great year for 2025. I'm gonna choose to remain optimistic about the future. But who knows? It's a crazy world we live in, right, guys? So something for us to look forward to in 2025. Oh my gosh. Yassine says, I swear it's true. The worst part is, it's a professor from France, and he's coming to Morocco especially for it. Okay. No, this is not good. So here's what I'm seeing. Here's what Yassine's message says. One, Yassine has a sus professor, right? This guy's a little weird. Two, he wants to have a free trip to Morocco for the new year is what it is here, right? He's scheduled it so that somebody from the university is going to pay for his plane ticket and he can spend the holiday in Morocco. All right, let's call this what it is. There is no way he couldn't have done it at some other time, right? But he can't justify the expense report to the university unless it's around an exam. right? So this guy just wants, he's too cheap to pay for his own holiday. So he's going to get the university to pay for it. Yassine says, yes, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of a skeezy move, right? I mean, come on, France to Morocco, that's not a very long flight. That's a very cheap flight. I've done that. I've done London to Morocco. It's like a 45-minute flight. I think it costs like all of 100 euros or pounds or whatever it cost me, right? Like, this is not a long flight, right? Anywhere in France to Morocco is like not even an hour flight. So this guy's just being cheap. Yassine says we need to fight for our rights. Yeah, absolutely. Because Yassine, I'm assuming that the university is closed, right? Like, I can't imagine that it's still open on the 31st. He probably scheduled a special room or a special area for you guys to take the test, right? I can't imagine the rest of the university is still there, right? Pavlo says pure evil. It is. And you know what, guys? All throughout my life, I've always try to avoid being cheap, right? Like, you know, if I go out, I'm a generous tipper. I'm generous with my friends. You know, like being cheap to me is not a good quality, right? You shouldn't be a cheap person like that, right? I think it's a very negative trait. So for somebody to do this, you know, and to make the students come in and have an extra class, you know, or exam just to get a free trip out of it. Come on, that's being cheap. That's just bad form, you know? Denelson says, I'll join the protest. If no one goes to the test, then there can be no test. Yeah, but the professor is already in Morocco, right? Like if you do a protest right now, you're just going to give him reasons to extend his stay, right? Like he's just going to bill the university a couple extra nights, right? So I don't know. That sounds super skeezy. That sounds like a terrible professor. Yassine, I'm sorry you have to go through that. That's kind of terrible, right? Like that's completely intentional for so that he can bill somebody else for a trip. That's cheap, man. That's not good. Very disappointing to see that. Yassine says that man is not losing. Yeah, he'll already be in the country, right? Pavlo says it's like a differential calculus teacher who gave us 3 topics in 2 classes of 2 hours. Wow, those are long classes, Pavlo. Especially for math classes. 2 hours. That's way too much. Yassine, but I agree. It sounds like the professor is winning either way, right? So, I don't know. I don't know if at your university it's common to have like professor feedback forums, right? Where the students get to give some feedback to the university about the professor. I don't know if that's a thing or not. But I think you need to look into that, Yassine. You guys need to give some feedback. Let people know what's happening here, right? Or somebody at the supervisory level at the university should have said, well, why are you having a test on the 31st, right? Like nobody noticed this? Nobody put those things together? That's kind of weird. But Yassine, I'd love to know that answer, right? I assume that this is a special situation. There's no way the rest of your university is open on the 31st, right? So nobody noticed that? Nobody said, hey, why do we have one classroom reserved for a holiday for the last day of the year? Somebody had to have seen that, right? I have to believe somebody saw that. Let me know in the comments. So guys, like I said, it's the last stream of the year. So if you guys want to talk about data science or what you want to do in 2025 or anything else, let me know in the comments. Today is a good day for questions. We had a great talk yesterday about goals, about the framework for goals, the SMART goals, having them be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, right? So if you guys want to talk about that, we're welcome to do that. But yeah, but otherwise, it's going to be a good close to 2024. Can't believe the year I've had, and I'm looking forward to 2025. Who knows what the future will hold for us, right? Lots of crazy things happening in the world. It for a while there, it felt like we were going to close 2024 with the announcement that aliens are here, right? Or that UFOs are real, or UAPs, or whatever they're called, right? Who knows if that's something that's going to happen in 2025, right? Or what other revelations and world events are going to happen in 2025? But as I say, I hope nothing but the best for all of you, and for you and your families to be safe. But it's always exciting to go into a new year, right? It feels refreshing, feels like a time of renewal, right? I wish it was a time of rest for all of you, but apparently some of you are taking exams. But really looking forward to the year, right? Leo, that's hilarious. Aliens are here and they're giving tests on 12/31 to people already. Crazy. I see what you did there, Leo. Leo managed to combine all of our chats. I love it, Leo. Nice one. Good one. Put Leo up on the board. He made a funny one today. Denelson says, I'm excited to see the CES content. Wish I could go too. It sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm excited about it. But also a little nervous because it's going to be a lot of content to put together in a very short amount of time. So I'm going to be working my butt off next week for you guys. So looking forward to it. It's not open to the public, so you guys know that's one of the reasons why I'm also excited, because CES traditionally, it's never been open to the public. Although I've been before. I'm not going to say how I've been before, but I have been to CES before. But it's not open to the public. And I was fortunate to get a media pass. They have a whole application process for this. And if you're not media, you still have to work in the industry. You have to be like a finance person or an analyst or somebody else. So that's what frees up the companies to give a lot of these big debuts of their products. And because I'm media, I've also been receiving the pre-show press releases and announcements and stuff like that. Some of it I can't talk about because they specifically send it to you, but it's embargoed until the start of the show or things like that. So I'm excited for that. That's going to be good stuff also, right? To look at those debuts. I'm getting a lot of press releases from AI companies. I'm also getting a lot of press releases from like AI enabled products. Like I'm not going to name the company, but I am going to put their product on blast. Like there was a company who was offering a toothbrush and also this special electronic ear cleaner, and they said that it was that the products are AI enabled with this and that. I don't need my toothbrush to be AI enabled, guys. Like one, it's silly, and two, it's probably a lie, right? They're just saying AI to sound cutting edge or whatever, right? But it's like, do you really need AI to clean your ears? Like, no, I just want it to be safe when I clean my ears, right? So I'm expecting to see a lot of products like that also, where it's like, yeah, you say you're AI, but you're just trying too hard, right? You're trying to be cool when you're really not, right? So it'll be an interesting mix. Paflo says, I hope it will be a quieter year than this one, even if just a little bit. Yeah. I like the way you put that, Paflo. Without getting into specifics, because, we don't talk politics or things like that. I also wish it's going to be a quieter year, a little bit more of a calmer year for the entire world, right? So yeah, I like the way you put that, Paflo. I definitely wish that for everyone. Yassine says, honestly, it feels fine for us. No one in my class is having any problem with that. No complaints. we're kind of blinded by the matter. Everyone's just focused on preparation. I don't know, Yassine. I think you need to start leading a revolution. I think, Yassine, tomorrow morning, I want to wake up and I want the international news to be talking about how the entire university and 4 additional buildings in Tangier have been set on fire by a student coalition group that is fighting against bad exams. So, Yassine, go to work. I'll be very disappointed if I don't see that tomorrow on my news. Okay, disclaimer, don't actually do that. But do it, But don't say I did it, okay? Pablo says was taken by students. Yeah, exactly, right? I want to see a rebellion force, Yassine, and I want to see you on the news, right? Like I want you to be the leader of it. But just don't involve me. I didn't tell you to do this. Okay, I accept no liability for this. Okay, so it looks like Yassine likes the idea. Yassine says AI toothbrush. Yeah, right. Who needs an AI toothbrush? I don't need an AI toothbrush. I just need to clean my teeth. I don't need it to be AI enabled. And I don't know about you guys, but another thing that I have been quietly fighting against, in addition to these AI enabled products, let me know if I'm the only one, but for me, the last thing that I need in my life is another thing to recharge. I am sick and tired of having to plug in things. Oh, is that charge? Is that charge? Oh, that's only a half charge. I better plug that in. Oh, that's a USB. That's a USB charge. That's a wall charge. That's a USB-A charge. I am sick and tired of charging. So I don't need to charge my toothbrush, right? Because if it's AI enabled, obviously there's an electronic component. Same thing for the ear thing, right? I don't need to recharge the thing that I use to clean my ears. So that's another thing I'll be looking for at CES. I don't want to charge it anything. Like, look, I'm gonna. Where are they? Oh, you know what? They're in my bag, so I don't have them. But like, I still use like the old style earbuds with the cables. I don't need them to be wireless because that means I have to charge them. Just give me a wired set. I don't want to charge anything anymore. I usually have them on my desk, but I remember I put them in my bag for the trip to go see my parents. But I am sick and tired of things to charge. I don't need to charge my toothbrush. I don't need to charge something for my ears. There were a couple of other products that were out there. And then some products that just don't make sense. I'll tell you more, once the show starts, because some things I've heard about that you're not allowed to talk about until the show starts. But other products that just don't make sense, But we'll see. So that's going to start next week. The first videos for that I will probably push out on Sunday, because that's the first media event that I'm going to on Sunday night. So look for stuff coming out of there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun time. All right, guys. So I'm not seeing any other comments in the chat. So I think this is a good time for us to wrap up. I hope that 2024 has been a good year for you. It certainly has been definitely different for me because of this. This social media effort, I should say, in this community. So I want to thank all of you for that. You guys have been fantastic, and I'm just, really grateful to be enabled to do this. And we're going to keep on going in 2025. 2025, I have a couple of different ideas that I want to kind of feel out. And you never know where that's going to end up, right? So please stay safe during the holiday, right? We know people get crazy with partying and fireworks and things like that. So, please be safe out there. And my next stream will be on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday I'm scheduled to stream, but it'll be 2025 by then. And we'll go from there. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. Stay safe out there. Good luck on all of your year-end activities, including your crazy exams. And I will talk to you next time. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. And I'll see you again soon.